the Amateur today. We're going to start off with a little bit of an introduction about who we are and kind of where we get the names. And, let's just get straight into it. So, my name is Jackson Edwards, like I said, and I'm the amateur mainly because I'm not really, amazing at anything. I'm not professional or anything. Not like this guy over here, my co host, but I kind of just, trying to work my way up. As of right now, I'm living in Utah. I'm going to college, kind of trying to just figure out what I want to do with life. And yeah, I guess that's why I'm the amateur. So I'll pass it off to the pro.
I'm the pro here. My name is Cole Higgs. I'm 19 years old, North Ogden, Utah. I'm currently going to school at Weber State University with my host here.
Sounds like goddamn draft card.
Yeah. The reason that I'm the pro on this podcast is because I guess you could refer to me as a professional Madden player. I've made around $20,000 playing in Madden tournaments, EA majors. I've made multiple EA majors. So I guess that's why they call me the pro, but just a little bit about me.
Yeah, and
pass it back to the host.
You're not giving yourself enough credit though, because you gotta remember you were the youngest Madden player ever to make a tournament.
That is true. I forgot about that. I was the first youngest Madden player to ever make an EA major, so that is a pretty cool pretty cool thing there.
I mean, yeah, I know it's pretty sweet. Your dad kind of had to hold your hand at the tournament, but it's how it is. As of right now, obviously you can see we're in the early stages of our podcast. I mean, that's why you're looking at two pictures of us. I'm on the left, my co-host on the right. Yeah, right now we're trying to figure out how to basically do everything. I mean, just setting this up was a process in itself. Not easy.
No, it's a lot of work.
But we'll figure it out. We'll get the cameras going. We'll get the kinks smoothed out and everything. And yeah, we just hope to bring you guys some good content. So we had a list of things we want to talk about today, and we're gonna just head on into the first one, I think. So, Cole, you mentioned that you're a professional Madden player. What are the changes? What's going on? I mean, the new Madden just came out. We want to hear about it, dude. Like, what's going on?
All right, so a little bit about the new Madden for anyone that wants to know, or anyone that does play can kind of attest to this. But I actually really do like the new Madden. A lot of new things they added this year that I'm a fan of.
What were some of the things they added?
So they added a lot of new things with as far as the blitzing from last year that was kind of overpowered in my opinion. Made it a lot easier to pass. As I've mentioned to you before, last year we had two belt winners that had no quarterback. So imagine that, no quarterbacks winning a whole tournament. Pretty crazy in my opinion, but that's how the game was last year. So it's kind of shifted this year. We got hopefully passers can be great again. So I like that. I like that a lot. It definitely takes a lot more to play defense this year.
Well, were you telling me there's something different about like the format of the tournaments or something like that? You were telling me
definitely
some change.
Formats, yep. So mainly because of COVID, only gonna be 3 tournaments this year. Not until I think December is when the first actual live event will be played.
Wasn't it like September last year?
Earlier than that, yeah, September.
Wow.
September. So definitely a different schedule this year with COVID, but I mean the prize pool went up about $250,000, so that's a dub right there. $750,000 for the club championship tournament, which is the biggest EA major this year. $150,000 first place prize, which is kind of pretty nuts for.
What is it usually?
So last year was 100,000, which is
still
amazing.
$50,000 increase.
Yeah, it's still amazing.
Yeah, but, that's crazy.
Yeah, we got that going. So hopefully I can place well in that tournament.
Yeah.
And
what's the highest you ever placed in a tournament, or was it the one when you were 16?
So I placed last year was my highest placing. I placed 8th at the Madden Classic.
Okay.
I made 6,000 at that tournament.
Okay.
So that was my best placing. I had a really good run at that tournament.
Yeah.
This year they're not having the Madden Classic because of COVID. But
which one was the Madden Classic? Was that the
regular team?
Okay. That's
regular teams in where was that at?
California.
Texas.
Oh yeah.
Dallas, Texas at the I forget the arena, but that was a really crazy arena, huge. They had tons of other tournaments going there, not at the same time as me, but Fortnite tournaments and all that stuff going on.
Let me ask, what's it like being like a professional gamer? Because I mean, so many kids and people, especially our age, they're always like, dude, I mean, if I could just make money off gaming, that'd be so cool. So I mean, what's some I guess things you would say that maybe give people an insight, kind of what it is to be a professional gamer.
Oh yeah, it's it's a dream. Like we all grow up gamers. Like we're something we're gonna do anyways. Like we enjoy gaming, so it's just something we're gonna do anyway. So to be able to make money on it is really like while we're doing it is pretty nice to have.
Yeah.
You look at like Booga, the 16-year-old playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Made freaking how much did he make? Like upwards of 3 to 5 million in that one tournament for solos. 16 years old.
That's insane, dude.
Like, can you just imagine that? It's pretty crazy.
And that's more than some people make in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about. He's literally set for life, pretty much. And not only that, that's pretty much helps him with his streaming and his YouTube and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so he's pretty much invested in Fortnite as like future for him.
Yeah.
But it's being a professional gamer is amazing. I mean, it's really great. It definitely is it's hard work. I mean, you have to put the time in.
Well, I don't think people really understand that. I don't think people understand that, like, doing professional gaming, you actually have to do it. Like, it's like, oh, you just game or whatever. No, it's like actually a lot of work. I mean, how many hours do you think you put on one game a day, or Madden a day? Like,
it's 10, 12 hours a day. A lot of people will say to try to debunk professional gamer arguments, they'll say, what do they even say? They'll say like, it's just, I don't know, dude. I can't stand.
Well, I mean, I feel like they basically just say it's just a game.
It is.
That's what they say.
They'll say it's a game too, but it's hard work, dude. It's just like a regular profession. Dude, you have to put the time in, and it's late nights. Like a lot of times we don't get a lot of sleep, staying up preparing for tournaments, and it's no joke. Like people will tell you that professional game, like they put in way more hours than a lot of people probably give us credit for. It is a job. It is a job for sure. But I enjoy competing. I mean, it's great. It's really the joy of competing more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just trying to prove you're the best every year. So I would just say that. I mean, I love it.
So let me just ask, ultimate goal, like what for Madden, what's the, I guess, peak or whatever for you?
The peak?
Yeah. What would be like
the
holy grail, just perfect for you?
Well, obviously you want to be the best ever playing the game. I mean, right now I just have kind of smaller goals, like as far as just placing even higher than top 8, which is top 8's really good in the tournament, but obviously I want to place top 4 and then work from there, win an actual tournament.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously everyone wants to be the absolute best, be considered the best.
Mm-hmm.
And so to do that, I mean, if you look at the people that are probably considered the best right now, it's pretty tough to think that you could top that. But
no, yeah.
I mean, you got Skimbo, who he won 3 belts in 2 years, I think 2 years. Yeah, pretty much, and just insane. He made over like $250,000 in just 2 years of playing the game.
Really?
So I mean, he had a pretty good run, and so a lot of people think he's one of the best. He is one of the best, but some people will make the argument he's the best. And then you have Problem, obviously, who's made tons of money playing Madden, and he's mainly longevity.
Well, he's a big content creator now, isn't he? Like,
yeah, he's mainly on content now.
Yeah.
But he's been great for so many years, and made tons of money over just ridiculous amounts of money over just playing the game.
Yeah.
And so those are the best people, mainly the GOATs that people will talk about for Madden.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to top that, but
I mean,
mainly right
now.
Mount Rushmore, yeah.
Yeah, Mount
you probably
Rushmore,
got Problem, Skimbo, and then the third. I don't even know what the third would be. It's subjective on opinions on that, but obviously everyone wants to be the best that is a competitive player, but
yeah,
mainly you're just looking short term. Like you want to just work your way to get better every year and just place higher in tournaments. Like I said, place higher in the top 8, and then kind of try to work my way. Obviously, I want to win tournament this year, but
yeah,
you just kind of got to look short term and then keep going from there. So I would just say that for the holy grail for Madden, but.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's totally understandable. And I guess since you play Madden so much, you probably know a lot about football, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move into the second topic. Let's go into football predictions week 1. Let's go to think who are we picking, all right?
All right, let's go.
We can get the amateur, and the pro pick. All right.
Let's do it.
So
I like this.
I'll go first, and then you'll just follow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thursday night, first game of the season.
Texas Chiefs.
Texans versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, you already know your shit, God. But Texans versus Chiefs. All right. Now, Texans already lost DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason.
Yeah.
For David Johnson. Not horrible, but definitely didn't perform the way he. Oh no, it's a horrible trade. He didn't, but he's not a horrible player. I mean, he didn't have a good season last year, but yeah, not a great trade for the Texans. I mean, I don't know many people who think they actually won that trade.
No, they didn't win the trade.
Yeah.
What did they get? A second-round pick, I think.
They got David Johnson. It's irrelevant. They lost
second-round pick.
Hopkins.
But yeah, you can't give up a second-round pick for Hopkins. That's ridiculous.
All right. I'm gonna go with the obvious Chiefs. I don't see an upset happening anytime soon in that game.
No, I got the Chiefs winning. A little bit about that game. Deshaun Watson, he just got a contract extension too, 4 years.
Oh yeah, 140 million,
I think.
wasn't it?
116 million, I think. Maybe I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I mean, Deshaun Watson's amazing. I mean, he's a playmaker. I feel like he'll keep that game close, but I still have the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs too.
They just have a way better team, better coaching. I mean, Bill O'Brien's not a great coach, and they promoted him to GM after that debacle in the playoffs last year. So I'm not sure who's making the decisions, but I got the Chiefs winning in a close one. I mean, Deshaun Watson's great. It's hard to bet against him, but I have him in fantasy football, so.
So you want him. You see, there's a little bit of bias there.
So I am kind of cheering for the Texans, but I do have Deshaun Watson going to fantasy that game, so I'll be watching closely. But I do have the Chiefs winning. I got to be realistic. I think the line is Chiefs -10, so Chiefs supposed to win by 10 points.
All right.
So I have the Chiefs winning. I mean, it's hard to take the Texans there, even though I want to pick Watson because I like him and I have him in fantasy.
All right, yeah, we don't really need to spend much time on that game. I mean, I feel like we're both picking the same way. Eagles versus the newly named Washington football team. I'm going with the Eagles just because I don't have high hopes for the Washington football team this year. Not even kind of. I think it'll be kind of a hard game to watch if you're a Redskins. I mean, Washington football team. Sorry, it's gonna be a adjustment period getting used to that name. But
yeah, I won't be watching that game. I think it's 11 o'clock game, right?
Yeah,
I won't be watching that game. So I'm gonna pick the Eagles in that.
Oh,
I'm gonna pick the Eagles just because the Redskins. I mean, they actually have
Washington
a decent
football
defense.
team.
The Washington football team. They have a decent defense this year, but I mean, overall, just not a great team at all.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
so I'm gonna pick the Eagles
maybe Haskins comes back crazy. Maybe.
I think he'll be better than he was last year. I mean, last year was
they get a new coach.
It was really bad this year. They got a new coach. They did get a new coach.
Oh, I thought.
Who was their coach, dude?
Let's check.
Because Jay Gruden he got fired midway through last year. Their new coach, I'm not sure who they hired this year.
Did you see?
Ron Rivera. No, it's Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera, okay.
So he was like one of the first signings for coaches this year. I can't believe I forgot that, but yeah. No, Ron Rivera.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was kind of a while ago when COVID happened.
Yeah, well, it was one of the first head coach signings of the off season, but I mean, Ron Rivera, I think he's a good coach, but I mean, they just don't have a lot of talent on that team. So I'm gonna pick the Eagles on the road in that game. Wentz is a better quarterback.
Yeah.
And the Eagles have a better overall roster too, even though the roster is not great. It's still better than the Redskins right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick the Eagles in that game.
All right, let's head over to. We might have a little bit of a debate on this one. Let's head over to the Dolphins and the Patriots. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know. I feel like the Patriots are kind of a big question mark for everybody right now because it is the great Bill Belichick, but you have to wonder, will he be able to do this? I mean, he lost Brady. Brady is kind of enough, but Cam Newton was named the starter. I'm gonna pick. I'm actually gonna go with the Patriots. I believe it. I kind of think that Cam Newton will go off, throw for probably like 300 yards, and kind of want to see what happens with him and Bill Belichick. I think it'll be interesting, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Patriots too. The Dolphins, I mean, they did add a lot of players this year.
I like their coach, though.
They have a great coach, and they added a lot of players, but I'm going to pick the Patriots just because, Bill Belichick. I mean, the dude's a miracle worker. It doesn't matter who's on his team. Like, they're still going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter. It's because of COVID. There's not going to be any fans, so there's really no home field advantage at this point. But
I think he kind of got a steal with Cam. Surprised Cam wasn't picked up for that long.
Nothing.
All right, let's go over to your team, Packers and the Vikings. I'm gonna have to pick the Vikings. I'm sorry. I don't think the Packers did enough in the offseason to improve their team to beat the Vikings. I know Aaron Rodgers is still probably gonna go off, but I think I gotta give it to the Vikings, honestly.
I'm gonna be completely honest on the show, and I'm not gonna
Not gonna
let my bias get me in. Well, I'm not gonna promise that, but here I'm gonna pick the Vikings. Actually,
really. Wow, I'm actually surprised. That hurt.
I'm gonna pick the
That hurt a little
Vikings.
bit.
It does, but I mean, dude, the Packers, man, our offseason was horrible. Like we traded up to draft Jordan Love in the first round. We're in the NFC Championship last year. Against the Niners, got blown off the field, and didn't do anything to improve our run defense, which is our main flaw last year. So going into this, I mean, we really didn't add anybody. We added Funches, who was holding out, or yeah, he opted out, and then what else did we add? We didn't add a lot.
I mean, nobody really
We cut
notable.
Jimmy Graham, and so it's kind of the same team going into this year. Didn't do anything to improve our run defense, and so it's probably going to be the same as last year, if not worse. So I'm going to pick the Vikings at home, even though it's COVID, so there's not really any fans, so there's really no home field advantage. But I'm going to pick the Vikings in that game. They added a lot of people this year. I'm trying to think who, but they made it a lot of offseason.
They did lose Diggs. I mean, I guess
They
that
did
was
lose
a little
Diggs,
bit
yeah.
ago, but
They lost Diggs,
yeah.
but who did they add? They added some people on defense. They lost Everson Griffin too.
They did lose Everson Griffin.
They added somebody the other day. Who did they add?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings in that game. I think the Vikings are just a better team than us this year, to be honest. I actually don't have us winning that division.
You think they're better coached?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as a Bengals fan, sadly, I really like I like them.
Yeah, he's a really good coach. They have a great defense every year, so
Okay,
I
mean,
don't
we
see
can.
that changing. And our defense is.
I will say they extended Cousins. I don't know about that. That's a question mark. They re-signed a couple guards, center. You know, we don't need to.
Yeah, let's get on the next
but
game. They definitely added some people. I would say that, and I'm gonna pick the Vikings just because they have a better team. They're better coached, and
same.
I'm not a big fan of what we did in the offseason, so it's hard for me to keep freaking saying we're gonna make a deep run when we just got worse.
Yeah,
didn't improve our own defense, so I'm gonna pick the Vikings.
All right, let's head over to the Colts and Jags. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be real dark for the Jags. I don't even know who they have on their team except Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I mean, other than
Jags
Gardner,
horrible. They're the worst team in the league.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough game.
They're the worst team in the league for sure.
I think they're gonna have a hard time against damn near anybody this year.
Yeah, they're horrible. They have nobody. I couldn't really name anyone off the roster off the top of my head right now, but
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. That's it. They lost Fournette. They lost. They have DJ Chark. That's their only receiver that I can think of. But I mean, that team is not good at all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick the Colts easily in that game. Colts are actually a pretty good team this year. They might make a playoff run, but even though that conference is tough, the AFC is tough. So I don't know.
Let's get past. I mean, we don't need to spend time on that one. Bears and Lions. Did we know who the starter for the Bears at QB?
Yeah, they named Trubisky the starter yesterday.
Shit, I don't know about that, but
no, I think Foles will steal his job midway.
I think he should have stolen his job already. I don't even know how Trubisky's still. I mean, he is. I don't even know.
Trubisky's gonna fold that job to Foles.
I think I'm gonna take. This is tough. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know that game either.
I think I'm just gonna say. No, I'm gonna say Bears pull it out, not because of Trubisky, but I'm gonna say the Bears pull it out. I feel like I'm gonna predict Khalil Mack strip sack, 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah. I don't even really know who to pick in this game. Both teams aren't great. I don't see both teams really doing that well. They'll probably both win around the same amount of games this year.
Yeah. 6-10?
6-10, maybe. Probably around that, yeah. The Lions.
They got Stafford, Jones. Who's the running back?
They have two good receivers. I think
Galladay's their receiver, isn't he?
Yeah. Galladay and Marvin Jones, and then they have DeAndre Swift, the rookie, who's probably going to start for them. He is going to start for them. I'm going to pick the Lions because I hate the Bears.
All right, well, that's only disagreement. You Packers fan, I guess that. It's true.
That's a toss-up game for me.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'll
gonna
pick the
just go with the
Lions.
Bears. We'll disagree on that one. Let's keep going.
I hate both teams. I don't pick the Lions. I hate the Bears more.
All right, Raiders versus the Panthers. I think I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think Christian McCaffrey's gonna go off, and I think he's gonna kind of run through that Raider defense. What do you think?
No, I'm gonna pick the Raiders.
You're going for the Raiders?
I
Think Crosby's gonna have a field day on that end?
Who?
Crosby?
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna pick the Raiders just because they got better. They had a good draft.
They did have a pretty good draft.
They had a good
Got
draft.
my boy
and they added some
from
people.
University of Utah, Zach Moss. That was awesome. Oh wait, no, they didn't get
Zach Moss went to Buffalo.
No, my buddy was telling me who's a Raiders fan says he wished they got. That's my dad.
Yeah, Zach Moss went to Buffalo.
No, they got another running back though. Who was it?
Theo Riddick.
Zach Moss. It was.
Theo Riddick.
Oh, okay.
Theo Riddick's not.
No, they drafted a running back.
Oh yeah, they did draft a running back. I don't remember what his name is, but Josh Jacobs is the guy there. He's going to get like 90% of the workload. But I'm going to pick the Raiders just because they have a better team. Okay. They added a lot of people and they had a good draft, so I'm going to pick the Raiders in that game. And because I like John Gruden.
All right, let's go on to the Jets versus the Bills. I'm taking the Bills. I feel like that's not going to be a really close game, honestly. I think the Bills are going to blow them off the court or field, I guess.
Yeah, I'll pick the Bills too. Bills are actually, I mean, they were a great team last year. They had, some people will say, the best defense in the league. They had one of the best defenses in the league.
Well, they just signed Tre'Davious White today too.
Yeah, so they have one of the best defenses in the league, and they got better. So, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, they won. How many games did they make playoffs last year?
They made the playoffs, but I think they did pretty bad in them.
Did they make playoffs?
Dude, my football knowledge is getting tweaked right now.
I don't. Yeah, they did make playoffs last year because they. I remember that game. They blew a lead against Kansas City, right? Or no, against Tennessee. Blew the lead. I can't remember. I thought they were in the playoffs though.
Let me check.
Because I remember Josh Allen in the playoffs. I thought they blew a lead, if I'm not mistaken. But
they got a lot
better.
Did they? Oh yeah.
They lost to the Texans. Yeah. I feel like they blew a lead in that game. I feel like.
Let's see. Yeah, they did. They were up 13-0 at half and scored 2 field goals.
They blew a lead. I remember watching that game.
Lost in overtime, 19-22.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the Bills because they got better and they were in the playoffs last year. So how can you? I mean, the Jets are a dumpster fire. They're horrible. Like they're a dumpster fire. They fired their GM after the draft.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Imagine that. So yeah, I mean the Jets are a dumpster fire. Like they don't really have a lot of people. I think they just lost people. I don't really know who they added. They lost Jamal Adams.
I mean,
they lost their whole defense, Jamal Adams. So I mean, if you look at the stats when he's on and off the field, he was making the defense a lot better than it was, and it was still horrible. So they're going to be a bad team this year.
Yeah, let's head over to the Browns and Ravens. I feel like we'll probably agree on this one too. I'm taking the Ravens. I don't think that the Browns are close enough, even kind of opponent to the Ravens at all.
Yeah, that's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
The Ravens are going to run through teams starting like week 1 through 8. The Ravens are going to run through teams. They're going to blow everybody out, in my opinion. They have the best roster in the league, and I mean Lamar Jackson is just getting better. So
they did.
The Browns are a good team, though.
They did lose Earl Thomas, though. I will say. I mean, they didn't have him last year, but that does weaken their secondary a little bit.
Yeah, it does weaken their secondary, but people were saying he's more trouble than good because of his locker room issues that he's having
that is
practice field incidents. But I mean, they're still a great team. They added people too. They got even better than they were last year, and they blew through teams at the end of the year. So they're going to be, I don't know, feel like they'll lose many games, maybe 1 or 2, I would say actually. But the Browns, I mean, they actually got a lot better too. Their defense is really good this year. So that division is actually really tough. But I'm gonna take the Ravens. They're gonna blow through teams throughout the year.
All right, let's head over to the Seahawks and the Falcons. Now, I mean, Russell Wilson looked so scary last year. I think he's gonna continue. I think they're gonna beat the Falcons. I don't know by how much, but I don't know. It's weird because the Seahawks always seem to have a lot of close games, but they always win them. It's kind of weird. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks. Honestly, I'm taking them over the Falcons.
Last year, the Seahawks had like every game was close, and they went 10-6, I believe, last year, or 11-5, one or the other.
They made the playoffs at least.
Yeah, they didn't win their division. The Niners won the division, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but it was close. But yeah, the Seahawks. I mean, last year their team was bad. Last year it was just Russell Wilson
Yeah.
making stuff happen at the end of games. But this year they got better. They added Jamal Adams, obviously. They lost Clowney though. They didn't
Yeah,
sign Clowney,
he's
which is
gonna
kind
sign
of
with the
stupid in my
Titans.
opinion.
He's gonna sign with the
I
Titans.
don't feel like you shouldn't re-sign Clowney there if you're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I would.
You should be in win now mode in my opinion. But
I feel like
they're
with
still
Russell
going to be a
Wilson, you
great
should always
team.
be in win now mode.
Yeah. So I mean, they're still going to be a great team this year, but I feel like they'll make the playoffs. They're not going to win their division though. I think the Niners are still a better team.
Yeah.
But they'll be in the playoffs in my opinion, just because Russell Wilson just wins games. That's what he does. But yeah, I feel like they are a better team than last year though, even though they don't have Clowney anymore. I feel like they're overall a better team. Russell Wilson. I mean, it's hard to be better than he was last year. He was amazing last year, but I feel like he'll be even better.
I haven't seen
actually.
really a decrease though. Like over the years, I haven't really seen him.
No, he's gotten better every year, and yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine being better than he was last year. He was amazing last year, but I'm gonna take the Seahawks in that game. Just the Falcons, I don't.
Ryan's a question mark for me, honestly.
And their defense isn't very good either. I mean, their defense is always just decent. It's never.
They had a killer running back though. Who do they add again?
They added Todd Gurley, whose knees are jacked
up.
up.
Yeah. So actually he's a question mark too, then, huh?
Yeah, his knees are jacked up.
He could be really good, or he could be.
He has like arthritis in his knee.
Yeah.
I mean, the Falcons. I don't know. I think they'll be a middle of the pack team again, like they were last year.
Probably.
They didn't really do a lot, so I'm gonna take the Seahawks in that game.
All right, let's head over to my team, Bengals and Chargers. I'm taking the Bengals. Obviously biased, I'm gonna be honest, but I will also say that's a little bit attributed to the Chargers losing their star defensive player. So I am gonna take the Bengals in this game. Who is it? What's his name? Derwin James? Yeah, he's out for at least a few weeks minimum. So I think without him on their defense, I actually think we're going to see the Bengals defense do pretty well. I'm not so sure we're going to be really hot on offense. I don't know. I just think if Burrow struggles, we're just going to give the rock to Joe and kind of ride it out with him. So I don't honestly think it's going to be a high-scoring game. In my opinion, I think we're going to be probably like a 17-10 game max, honestly. I think it's going to be kind of ugly because of the lack of training and all that stuff that teams did because of COVID. So, in my opinion, I think it's just going to be a sloppy game, 17-10 at the very most. I think Bengals take it just because of the stuff that happened to the Chargers. They got a question mark at QB this year, so I think I'm going to have to take the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Chargers in that game.
You fucking
with ease. With ease.
With ease?
Yeah, that's going to be a blowout. Bengals are a bad team.
Nah, bro. Nah.
They're a bad team. The Chargers, they actually have one of the best rosters in the league. I don't like Tyrod Taylor at all, though. He actually wins a lot of games, though. But I don't really. Well,
maybe he will.
Huh?
Maybe he will.
No, I'm saying his record is actually pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, or I think it's Teddy Bridgewater. But the Chargers, their roster is actually overall really great, even though they lost Derwin James. I'm gonna take the Chargers in that game. I don't see the Bengals winning a lot of games this year. Maybe one or two.
Yeah, no, we've disagreed on that a million times. You think we're taking one or two?
Yeah.
You just like the rest of me. If we go 8-8, I want you to fucking say sorry.
There's no shot they're going 8-8.
All right, you're saying sorry though, right?
Yeah, I'll say sorry if they go 8-8. They're not winning 8 games. Right, I'm gonna take the Chargers easily in that game. They just have a way better roster overall and a better coach.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna go to the Cardinals and the Niners. I actually think the Cardinals will be super fun to watch this year. Like I think they'll keep every game exciting. I don't think it'll be not last year's Chiefs, but the year before that Chiefs, where they won a lot but they couldn't finish in the playoffs. I think the Cardinals will surprise a lot of people. I think they'll be a fun team to watch this year. I think what could hold them back is definitely their coach. He seems like he could be okay, but he just has a big question mark on him too. But I am going to take the Niners in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners in that game too. I do hate the Niners, but I gotta respect how dominant they are and how dominant they were last year, and they're gonna be really just good this year. They're gonna be a really good team this year again. The Cardinals are gonna be better. They added DeAndre Hopkins, and I mean they're just a young team that's gonna be even better this year. Kyler Murray's gonna be better. Their coach is gonna. I feel like they do have a good coach, Kingsbury. I feel like he's really good scheming offenses, but I mean the Niners, they're just their defense is ridiculously good and young. Like they're going to be even better this year. I feel like on defense, even though that's crazy to say because they were like probably the best defense last year. But I'm gonna take the Niners. they're not going to lose a lot of games either. They're not the Ravens, but I mean, the Cardinals, their whole line isn't great either. Like
That's not.
the Niners are going to probably run through them, in
All
my
right.
opinion. I mean, Kyler Murray might keep it close. Cardinals didn't keep a lot of games close last year, but I got to take the Niners. They're really good coached.
All right, let's head over with the Bucks and the Saints. I honestly don't think the Bucks are going to be as hype as everyone thinks they are, but I definitely think they'll be a decent team. I think that's going to be a tough division too. At least a 2-horse race at minimum. I think the Bucks and Saints will go back and forth, but I will take the Saints to beat the Bucks this game. I think they have a more complete team, even though the Bucks have added a lot. Obviously, I just think that the Saints are a little bit more complete, and so for that, I'm just going to have to take the Saints to win that game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints too. Buccaneers, they're better than last year. They
They're
added
definitely
tons
better.
of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're definitely
They
better.
added Leonard Fournette. They added tons of people on defense.
Brady,
They had a good
Gronk.
draft. They drafted a left tackle. They filled almost all their holes. But the Saints are still a better team, and they have better chemistry. A lot of those players have been together for a long time. And I mean, Drew Brees he did look worse last year, especially in the playoffs. He looked bad in that game. But I mean, that's still a prolific offense, and they're going to be good, and they still have a really good defense still.
Agreed.
The Buccaneers, I mean, their defense actually wasn't bad last year, if you look at the numbers, some of the numbers. But I mean, it's not going to be a top 5 defense. Like I don't think they have a better defense than the Saints, but I do like the Saints more than the Bucks this year. I feel like they'll win that division, but I mean, I feel like Tampa Bay misses the playoffs, but I feel
Really?
like they could win.
I don't. I think that they're.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna miss playoffs.
Well, are you sure? Even with the 7th seed
Yeah,
added?
they're gonna miss playoffs. Yeah, in my
Wow.
opinion.
I think they make playoffs.
I don't think they're gonna be a very good team this year, even with all the additions. I don't feel like there's tons of new pieces, and Tom Brady doesn't fit well with what they're trying to do with Bruce Arians, push the ball in the field like that. So I'm gonna take the Saints to win that division and that game.
All right, let's head over to the Cowboys and the Rams. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I don't really have a lot of faith in the Rams after what they've done the past 2 years. So I'm honest, and I don't like the Cowboys a whole lot either. I mean, but I am gonna take the Cowboys to win, even though they have Mike McCarthy, who's a little weird. I mean, it can't be that much worse than Jason Garrett. So I'm just gonna take the Cowboys based on pure talent.
Yeah, I never know what to think about the Rams.
Yeah,
because like I like Sean McVay a lot. I feel like he's a great coach, and they have the best defense player this decade. But like he's the best player on defense. I don't know about this game. The Cowboys, I feel like they got worse than last
really.
year. I feel like they got worse. They lost Byron Jones. They lost some people on defense. They cut Clinton Dix the other day, who I don't think is very good, but I feel like they lost a lot of people on defense.
They did have a pretty decent draft though.
They did have a good draft. They got Jerry Jeudy, who I like.
Well, that's 3 pretty good receivers. I mean, Amari Cooper.
Yeah, they do have 3 good receivers.
Yeah.
They're definitely not a bad team. I actually
You think Zeke will be better
Zeke will be better
than he was last year?
I don't know. I feel like Zeke's kind of the same every year. Kind of the same stuff with Zeke every year as far as the numbers go, unless he's hurt, which he doesn't get hurt. But I don't even know who to pick in this game. I'm probably gonna pick the Cowboys because I don't know what to expect with the Rams.
Yeah.
Like they're all over the place. Like they'll probably win 8 games this year and miss the playoffs like they did last year. They didn't do a whole lot, I feel like. So I'm gonna take the Cowboys just because I don't know what to expect with the Rams.
Okay, and then we're gonna head on to the Monday night games. We're gonna start with the Steelers versus the Giants.
2 Monday night games.
Huh? Yeah,
there's
there's 2 Monday night games. I am probably, as much as I hate to say this, I'm gonna pick the Steelers. I don't think they're gonna be a great team this year, but I think New York is gonna be bottom of the pack. So I'm definitely taking the Steelers in this game.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers too. The Giants are gonna be better than last year, but still not a great team. They're not gonna make playoffs, obviously. I'm gonna take the Steelers. The Steelers are also gonna be better than they were last year. They won 8 games last year somehow, or 7 or 8 games somehow with Ben out and not a great roster.
I don't think Ben's gonna be good this year. I really
better
don't.
than what they had last year. It can't be worse than what they had with
Yeah,
Rudolph and whatever the other dude's name was.
Who was it? Mason Rudolph and what was the other? Duck Hodges.
Duck Hodges. Yeah, those guys were awful, dude. And I mean, their floor is 8-8. I mean, They've
You think
never.
their floor is 8-8?
Their floor is 8-8 with Mike Tomlin. They've never
I think
done
their
worse
floor
than
is
that.
6-10.
They've never
honestly.
been worse than 8-8 with Tomlin.
But they didn't make
Even with last year, our roster was horrible with injuries.
Well, I know.
And they still won 8 games.
I just don't see it happening. Honestly, I don't see it happening. It could be biased,
So
but I don't.
I don't think they may play. The Ravens are going to beat them twice, and they're not winning the division. The Ravens are obviously going to win that division, but I mean, they could make a run at a wild card.
Well, you gotta remember there's 7 spaces.
I would have to look at
There's 7 spaces.
Yeah, I would have to look at the other teams that I have making the wild cards, but the Steelers could definitely slide into a wild card, but they're going to win that game.
All right, we're getting queued over to the next one with the Titans and the Broncos. It is true that the Titans just signed Clowney, I'm taking the Titans. I really am. I think Broncos are again a question mark in my opinion. I'm just gonna take. I'm gonna take the Titans.
I'm gonna take the Broncos.
Really?
Take the Broncos in that game. Broncos are way better this year.
But if you see, better. I mean, the only thing I say is just because if Derrick Henry can perform like he did in the playoffs,
I don't think he's gonna be the same this year.
Really?
I have him in fantasy. I hate to say that, but I mean, they didn't. I mean, they still have Tannehill's decent, but I mean, I don't feel like he's gonna be great. And once I feel like teams gonna start keying in on Henry, and I don't feel like Tannehill's made to.
I don't
to carry that offense.
I mean, it was evident he wasn't made to carry the offense. I mean, look at if Henry wasn't putting up monster numbers. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I feel like teams are gonna key on Henry more this year, so they're gonna have to get the ball to him more in the passing game, and I don't feel like they're going to be a great team this year. Their defense is good, but not great. But I feel like Denver is they're going to be way good this year. They're not going to win their division, but I feel like they can make a wild card. They added tons of people this year, and they had a really good draft. They drafted 2 receivers, I believe. They drafted
they got CeeDee Lamb.
They drafted Jerry Jeudy, and they drafted another.
Jeudy went to the Cowboys. Didn't
he? CeeDee Lamb. Oh, did we say it? We said Jerry Jeudy went to the Cowboys earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
So CeeDee Lamb went to the Cowboys and Jeudy went to the Broncos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got mixed up.
So they drafted Jeudy and they drafted tons of people, and they got better on defense too. Like they have a really good team, and they added more weapons, and they got Melvin Gordon. They have good tight ends. They didn't add any tight ends, but they already had good tight ends, and they added Jerry Jeudy and another receiver in the draft. So Broncos are going to be a good team this year. I hate to say it because I hate the Broncos, but they're going to be a good team. They might make a wild card.
All right, and that kind of wraps up. That's the games for that
predictions
for week 1.
Yep.
We're gonna take about a quick minute or so read of just what our socials are. You know, where you can find us, where you can maybe message us or whatever. And I'm gonna leave that to Cole, and we'll be right back.
All right. Well, you guys can find me on social media. My Instagram is Chigs710. If you guys want to follow me there, I don't really get on Instagram a lot or post, so. But you guys can follow me there if you want. My Twitch, Twitter, almost everything is gonna be Chigs300. If you guys want to add me on there, Snapchat Chigs710. If you guys want to add me on Snapchat, that's really it for my socials. Waiting on Jackson here. You guys can find Jackson on social media at his Instagram is Jackson.R.Edwards on his Instagram.
All right, and we're back. Hopefully that reading with Cole was pretty good.
Yeah, I laid on my social medias. I didn't get to yours. I just gave your Instagram. So if you want to tell me stuff or not.
No, that's good. I guess here I'll shout out my Twitter real quick. So you can find me on Twitter, just Jackson. It's basically my Instagram without the periods. It's just Jackson Redwards, Jackson R. Edwards. And yeah, let's move into our next topic. Sorry, but let's talk basketball. So 2K just came out. Obviously, already a lot of raging videos going on with that. But yeah, let's go into kind of how the playoffs or the bubble playoffs are going. So right now we have, let's see, it's the Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers. who's the Lakers playing again?
Lakers play the Rockets. They lost game
Rockets,
one.
yeah. Rockets, Lakers, Bucks, Heat. Who else is playing?
Bucks, Heat. We got Clippers and
I already said them. Raptors and Celtics. Raptors and Celtics.
Raptors and Celtics.
Yeah, and I think we should start with the most, entertaining one in my opinion, the Bucks and the Heat. I mean, it's been crazy. If you look at first of all, Jimmy Butler, I think he's solidifying himself as a supermax contract kind of player.
Mhm.
I mean, with how he's playing, especially against people like Giannis, Middleton, he's just going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, this is showing the serious holes that Milwaukee has.
Yeah.
I mean, last year they got blown off the court by Raptors, and this year they can't get past the Heat.
Yeah.
I mean, Heat are a good team, don't get it wrong, but not many people guessed this happening.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with the Bucks. This series this Heat 3-0 kind of came out of nowhere. But
Yeah.
I mean, the Bucks, I don't know. Giannis is out of there especially if they get swept. But if they lose the series, Giannis is gone. Period.
Oh, if they get swept, I think you can count on Giannis to be.
Yeah, Giannis is going to be out of there, dude. They've the number one seed the whole year, and people expect them to win the East easily.
Yeah.
And here we are, they're down 3-0 before the Lakers even played a game. So.
Well, a lot of people are questioning Giannis's, I guess, mentality or not last game, but the game before that, because apparently he said something along the lines of, "I do what coach tells me, and that's why I wasn't guarding Jimmy Butler." But a lot of people said, you should just be doing it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, pause that. Yeah, a lot of people.
I did see him kind of shrug off the reporter or whatever. Not sure what that was all about, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Bucks, but I mean, I don't know how who's really to blame for that, but I think regardless, Giannis is probably going to be out of there.
Well, I think Giannis actually does have to take some blame, or at least a good amount, in my opinion. I mean, you don't really. He is a superstar at the end of the day. He's not getting much help, but I do think you have to blame him a little bit, at the minimum.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Some of the other games. I mean, the Lakers lost game one. Kind of frustrating.
Oh yeah, game one. Are you want to tell people who you like?
So I'm a Lakers fan.
So you didn't like Russ and Harden winning game one, huh?
No. I actually like Harden. I like Westbrook too. I like those guys, but I still feel like we don't win. I feel like there's no way we still lose the series. But
you agree with Skip Bayless?
Huh?
Lakers in 7.
I thought he said the Rockets were gonna win.
No, he said Lakers in 7. He said the
I
Rockets.
did see. He said the game was gonna go 7. The series was gonna go 7 games, but I don't know. I feel like the Lakers. I mean, look, we lost game 1 against Portland and won 4-1. So I don't know. I still have faith in the Lakers. Bron and AD dynamic duo right there. So, I mean,
old man and Brow or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll win I don't think we'll win the next 4 games, but
yeah, I don't think so.
It might go 7 or 6. I feel like it could go 6 or 7, but I don't feel like we lose the series. So.
Do you think people are going to leave if you guys do lose that series? Do you think people are out?
What do you mean?
Like, because AD's a free agent, Bron be a free agent. You think anybody's out?
Yeah, probably. I think. I don't know. I feel like Bron retires a Laker, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't know. That'll be interesting, but I don't feel like we lose the series. I'm not going to overreact to that game 1, but
yeah. All right, well, let's go over to the kind of more boring series, I guess. Yeah. I guess the Celtics and Raptors. I think Celtics are going to win. I mean, Tatum Brown. I think it's going to be pretty Kemba Walker. They did lose last game. They've lost 2 straight, I guess.
On a game winner though.
Yeah,
they lost 2 straight or 1?
Huh? No, they lost 2 straight now.
Really?
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it spells for trouble. It definitely has the sense that they could definitely lose. But I don't know. Even if they lose the next game, I really think that the Celtics will pull through. I think they'll beat the Raptors.
I think the Celtics win that series too. Celtics have been playing really good. Yeah, I mean the Raptors have been playing good too though. That'll be interesting. I feel like that goes 7 games, but I'm taking the Celtics in that series. Yeah, they were dominant the first
2 games.
The first 2 games and the series before that, they went 4-0 easily. they blew who did they play? I forget who they played, but they blew them off the court.
The
So
Pacers? No,
the
that was
Pacers.
the Heat. That was the Heat.
Yeah, I forget who they played, but it was
Oh,
one
it
of
was the
the
Sixers.
yeah, it
Sixers
was the
they played.
Sixers. Yeah, that was a quick series. So I'll take the Celtics in 7 in that.
All right, let's kick over the other LA team. The Clippers versus the Nuggets. I know the Clippers lost, but I'm taking the Clippers all day. I don't see the Nuggets having successful game after successful game against a team like the Clippers. I mean, Jamal Murray had a good night, but I just don't see them losing that series either. I think it's going to be the LA teams in the conference finals. I actually got the Clippers winning it all. So
Yeah, I got the Clippers winning that series too. I feel like the Nuggets could make it a little interesting though. I mean, Jamal Murray's out of his mind. He was playing really good. But I don't know. I think I have to take the Clippers in that series.
yeah, I do too.
It was yeah. I mean the Nuggets almost lost to the Jazz. They probably should have lost that game.
They were that was not.
But they blew a lead at the end and almost probably should have lost. But I got to take the Clippers, even though I want to take the Nuggets.
I mean, it's hard to go against either LA teams to really win.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
it could go 7 games though.
All right. Well, that's everybody. I
That's
think.
the games. Yep.
Okay. Well, with all that going on, let's keep it in the entertainment industry, but let's kind of shift focus. Let's go into movies. I mean, a lot of people, it's a difficult time. It's COVID. It's hard to get out and see movies, but I think some have reopened and kind of opened back with caution. I think some can be described as being open back in a good way.
Yeah.
Me and Cole obviously went to one last night. And I mean, yeah, the precautions. I will say it still definitely felt like the real movie experience. I don't care what anybody says. I was so happy to just go back and see a movie, honestly. And we're gonna get into how much I did not like that movie, but we'll save that for a second. But more on the note of just, I mean, wearing the mask, it really wasn't a big deal in my opinion. I didn't feel anything. I just honestly, I was more disgusted with the movie than the mask. I think it was pretty chill, but
I agree.
popcorn kind of sucked. I will say that the popcorn was a little cold. A little upset about that, but irrelevant. Anyway, more onto what movie we saw. You want to tell people what movie we saw?
Yeah, we saw Unhinged. Definitely had high hopes for that movie.
I didn't.
He didn't. I had to try to talk him into going. He didn't want to go in the first place. I heard some good reviews from some people that I know that said the movie was good. That
You gotta
saw
cut
it.
them off, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, they said it was good. I watched the trailer. I thought it was gonna be a pretty good movie. I do like those kind of movies. The
Horror movie, horror thriller.
horror thriller, yeah, the movies like that. I definitely like the idea of the movie, the whole idea of it. But it was just, it seemed pretty good at the start, and it was going well. But I mean, middle through, and then especially the climactic moment, you had tons of stuff that was just flawed crazily. Yeah, not a great movie, I would say, but definitely, I mean, great experience.
Dude, I gotta tell, dude, before the movie, I was thinking, I bet I could guess at least 60% of the ending. I was like, I guarantee it's gonna happen. And all right, I'm gonna put out a little spoiler warning for any of those who are kind of worried. I won't give away everything and say exactly how it ended, but I'm gonna tell you my prediction of how it ended, and I will say I was more than 60% right. So I'm just gonna say I said that she's the main character, the lady who initially honked her horn, as you can see in the trailer,
Yep.
was going to have a really, I guess, tough time with logic for 90% of her decisions in the movie, up until the very climatic moment where either the cops wouldn't be able to help her out because they couldn't get there, or they were apprehended by the antagonist, whatever. That was my prediction, and that eventually it would be a virtual one-on-one with her and the killer, and that she would somehow, out of nothing but pure godly luck, outwill and outsmart the killer, even though the killer seemed like he was the smarter and stronger person the whole time, and then she'd get some dumb luck and kill him quick.
Yeah.
And short enough, I was pretty right. Let's just say that at the very least.
yeah, there was I don't know. I mean, for me, a lot of people like to kind of just immediately just talk crap about everyone making bad decisions in horror movies. But I can understand some bad decisions as far as in the heat of the moment, everyone would make mistakes during those situations for the most part. It happens during the heat of the moment, but I mean, over and over again, it's just ridiculous. And
Let's just say during that
it
movie,
just,
she had a big lapse of judgment at least 5 times where she could have done this or that.
yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of mistakes made, as you can kind of predict with those kind of movies. But he did predict a lot of the movie, I will say that. Um, especially especially the ending, but it was still a kind of crazy movie, but very violent.
I will say I was not expecting him to beat the hell out of the victims that he did. I mean,
Yeah,
it was kind of crazy. I did not expect it to be as graphic as it was, but it is a little graphic, I will say.
yeah, it was definitely a violent movie. Definitely don't recommend it if you're
Not because it
into
was violent, because it sucked.
Yeah, and it's yeah, I don't know, I don't want to say it sucked, but there was a lot
I'll
of
say
flaws
it
in it.
sucked. I hated it. That
It was
was not.
still, I don't know, it was mainly just good to get back in the movies. I've been
Yeah,
waiting to see a movie for
I
a long
will
time.
say, just the normal feeling of going back and acting like we're actually in public. It really was cool. I mean,
Yeah,
um, and again, I really didn't feel like the mask thing was a huge deal. I mean,
no, it wasn't at all. I mean, if you, I don't know, I feel like I don't care wearing, I don't mind wearing a mask at all. I mean, it's really not a big deal to me.
well, I
The
will just
problem with me
say,
is paying $6 for candy. That's my problem.
yeah, the $7 popcorn and $8 drinks and all that. Yeah, that's the real beef.
That's a little over the top for me. I can't
Well,
believe
I will
that.
say the one thing that did suck about the COVID procedures they have. I mean, obviously they have to sit you far away from each other. I mean, that's a given. But with the small theaters like this one was playing in, it wasn't a huge auditorium, so you had selection of like maybe 5 actual seats, and then
Hmm.
the rest were either handicap or luxury.
Well, yeah, because we didn't get the seats
And
we wanted in the back.
yeah,
And
we just wanted normal
we didn't
seats
get
in
them
the
in the back.
back. But I mean, and within seconds they were gone, and then we just had to get. I mean, I say we just had to get luxury
Yeah.
seats, but
Well, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. It actually wasn't a problem
no,
at
it
all
wasn't
with the
that
luxury
bad.
seats because you were able to. I just don't like sitting in the front regularly because you
Crank
have to
your
look
neck.
up and crank your neck. But with the luxury seats, I didn't know that you could recline them, and we were able to recline them and look, and we weren't kinking our neck the whole
I
time.
will say they were kind of expensive though, $15 per. It's kind of
Yeah,
for those anyone that's listening out of the state of Utah. Usually, a ticket for a movie is like $10. So either that's probably either way more than what you pay, or way less. I'd probably assume it's way less because I think a movie theater in New York is like $20 for a ticket.
yeah,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's crazy.
yeah. I don't know. I'm actually glad we got those seats because I didn't. If we were to sit in, I hate sitting in regular seats up front because your neck just gets
Yeah,
totally kicked
sitting
up.
in the front sucks. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
fun.
I mean it was over. It was just fun to go back to the movies. So
Well,
say,
talk about I guess if we're on the subject of movies and all that,
yeah,
we have to recognize the passing of Chadwick Boseman. I mean, that happened last week. Obviously huge in the industry. I mean, they kept it really quiet that he was sick. I didn't even know. I thought it was like some stupid thing people had started a trend on Twitter. Like, I thought it was just made up BS, and then out of nowhere, I mean, his people came out with an official statement, and I was like, I don't know. That's just so crazy to me. I
yeah,
mean,
it's definitely sad. 2020's been crazy. I mean, you had tons of people passing away, famous people this year.
yeah,
He's a warrior though for keeping that a secret. I mean, that's pretty
yeah. I
crazy.
mean,
Not telling anybody, and like I don't know, that's pretty
well, I guess
insane.
he got good people around him too,
Yeah, but
for
rest
that
in
to not
peace.
leak.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, no, that for real, it is really sad.
Yeah, 2020's been very
2020
insane.
sucks. I'm just gonna
I
say
think we
right
all just
now.
want 2020 to end at this point.
Let's just hope Christmas. Christmas can lighten it up a little bit. Maybe we get that vaccine and things kind of
Yep.
balance out a little bit. Let's hope for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, let's go off the sad topics. Let's go over to let's get in the music industry, dude. Let's go for it. Got the boy Big Sean dropping G2 last night. Gotta give it up.
It was last night.
It wasn't last night? Yeah, it was.
Thursday night.
God. Okay, Big Sean
Well, I
dropping.
guess if you want to look at it as Friday, it was actually yesterday. But whatever, Thursday night.
Yeah. Well, for us it's Thursday night because we're Western time. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. So Big Sean dropping D2. I gotta say, I listened to it. I listened to the whole album. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Not a 10, but I think an 8 is a fair score for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to give it a score right now. I kind of like to give albums at least a couple days.
Okay, I'll base that off my first impression, man.
Yeah, I kind of like to give albums a couple days for me to give it a final score. But I mean, I love it. I really do. There's a ton of songs that I like about it. There's some songs wish you wouldn't put on there. To say exactly what songs, let me go right now.
You told me you didn't like that cipher that he had on
No, you just can't make a 9-minute song, dude, unless like with all the Detroit artists, like.
I think it would have been fine if they would have shortened it down because it was really long.
No, it should have been 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was really, really long.
You just can't make a 9-minute song and expect people to come back. That, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna go back to that song, to be honest, unless I'm just listening to T Grizzly verse or Big Sean verse or
I thought
Eminem
Eminem
had a good verse.
I was gonna say I thought Eminem had a good verse too.
But another song I don't like is the Time In song.
The what one? Which one?
Time In.
Oh, I love that song. I gotta disagree with you there. I like Janae Aiko though, so I can't. I like Janae Aiko and Ty Dolla $ign. I think
that's a different song.
The Time In?
Time In's a different song. You're talking about Body Language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am thinking of a different song.
Yeah, Time In. I don't want to hear Big Sean sing like that.
I actually don't remember that one. Maybe I shouldn't give it a rating because I don't remember that one. Overall though, I think he did a pretty good job. I'm happy with this kind of return to the scene. What do you think?
Yeah, I love Big Sean. I've been waiting on this album for a while now, so I'm definitely pumped to get some new music from Big Sean. But definitely want to give it a few more days before I make a final rating on it. But I mean, I love it so far. I don't really see a lot of people saying negative things about it. Gotta love Sean, I'll be honest.
Well, I will say, rumor has it that Drake, Kendrick, and Cole are all supposed to drop an album too this year. I think if they all drop an album.
Solo albums?
Yeah.
I can say all those albums that everyone says, like, oh, these guys are all teaming up. And
no, they're not.
Never happen.
They're not teaming up. No.
Those never happen.
They're all apparently dropping solo. So, I don't think that will personally happen. But if it happens, I think that would be. This would be a great year for music. Honestly, in my opinion, The Weeknd has already got the #1 album of the year, unless someone like Kendrick or Cole or Drake comes and changes that. But I definitely have to say, I think The Weeknd. He's #1 artist on Spotify for a reason. I think it'll be hard to take the album of the year away from him. Honestly.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely have hopefully some new music to look forward to, but got Detroit too for now. Definitely will hold me over for a little bit, but I'm definitely excited.
What do you think the album of the year is?
Album of the year?
Yeah.
I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of albums. I'm kind of biased towards artists that I like as far as albums go, but I mean, Nav dropped an album that not great, but I would probably say my favorite album is probably Polo G's album this year so far.
He could be the best newcomer. That's possible. Actually, I will say I think Jack Harlow might get that. I don't know.
Jack Harlow, yeah. No, I like Polo G a lot. I think he probably has my favorite. It's biased. It's not saying.
Although I guess Lil Baby, he might have Song of the Year though. People really loved The Bigger Picture. People really loved that song, and with the movement and all that going on right now, I really think that could probably take. I wouldn't be surprised if that took Song of the Year. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I'd have to say Polo G for my album though.
Yeah, I did like Polo G's album too. Actually, I will have to say I think I have to give it to The Weeknd though. I think you could probably call me a Weeknd stan, dude. I love The Weeknd, but
yeah, you are.
I think that kind of wraps it up for us. So far, for our first episode at the very least.
We can talk about
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for the first episode, guys.
But I will have to say, any advice or any suggestions to anything you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments, message us, whatever.
If you guys want to be here live, we'll be streaming it on Twitch.
That is true. We will be having some call-ins from people. So if you want to call in. You could maybe call in. You can get on the podcast.
Get on the podcast,
have a
talk to
conversation
us,
with us,
know what
bring
you're
anything
doing.
up. We're willing to talk virtually anything. I mean, we might even have politics on some weeks. We're gonna start having things on where me and Cole debate about certain things. Those will obviously be a little bit more prepared episodes.
Yeah.
Today was kind of just a
to fill out
a filler,
introduction.
trying to get into the whole groove of everything that's going on.
This is just an introduction and just kind of talking about some light things, but we'll definitely just an experiment. But the next episodes are going to be a lot better, I would say, and we'll just kind of keep going. But like I said, if you guys want to get in contact with us or let us know if you like the podcast, you can hit us up on our socials or see us in the Twitch chat. But I think overall that's probably everything for our first episode. I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, we will be streaming every week. We're gonna try it every week on Saturday. We'll probably get a more fixed time down, but for right now, probably expect Saturday, probably in the afternoon sometime every week. We'll try to stream for you guys, and that'll be streamed over on JRE 18.
Yep.
However, we're gonna change the name. We're gonna change it to just the Pro and the Amateur Podcast.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find us there. This is my personal account I use to stream games on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna change it over.
Just make a whole new account, right?
No, we'll just keep it this. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're also gonna be over on our YouTube, where it's gonna be the same thing, the Pro and the Amateur Podcast.
Yep.
So links will be down. If you could, subscribe, like, give us a shout out, whatever you feel like. I mean, we're just honestly here to hang out, talk, and have a good time. I mean, honestly, we're not expecting.
It's just for fun mainly, so
yeah,
we're just kind of experimenting, like I said at this point. But definitely try to get into more things in future episodes. But just kind of experiment at this point. But appreciate everyone that tuned into the podcast.
For real. I mean, we appreciate anything and any feedback you guys have. Totally open ears.
What you guys think about the podcast, though.
And I will say the quality of everything, the mics, the shaky voices.
Yeah, may not be the best, but we're just working with what we got at this point, and just kind of it's the first episode, obviously. So.
And we do plan on getting cameras. We just didn't want to bring in any 240p, 30 whatever cameras for you. I mean, we didn't want to just stream off the laptop camera, so we kind of were just like, you know what, let's just throw up some pictures. But we do plan on getting better cameras.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess for right now, we're basically wrapped everything up. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Cole?
No, that's pretty much it. I think went good for our first episode, and appreciate everyone that tuned in, and just be expecting future episodes for sure. And like I said, if you guys have any feedback or anything you want to get in contact with us, I stated all my social medias earlier in the podcast, and I gave Jackson's Instagram.
I shouted my Twitter out after that.
Shouted Twitter out. So if you guys want to contact us, let us know what you think, and appreciate all you guys. And I think that wraps it up for the first episode.
Yep. Thanks so much, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow us on Twitch. Any way you can support, we'd appreciate it so much. So we're just gonna close out now. I'm the amateur, he's the pro, and this is the Pro and Amateur Podcast. Thank you so much for watching.
We're out.